Man, have I got something really cool to show you. DJI has just updated the Osmo Pocket 3 with a brand new firmware update. So get your app out and go do it right now. And it brought two really cool things to the table. One of them is the ability to do a digital zoom that is super clear. It's kind of reminiscent of Sony's clear image zoom. It's really incredible. But the other one I'm using right now. So in webcam mode, you can actually use D-Log-M. Now that means you get to use a logarithmic profile, which gives you a really wide dynamic range. And the reason why you would do this is if you want to take some creative license with your footage. We all know that the Osmo Pocket 3 shoots really incredible footage right out of camera. But if you want to get into your editing program, Final Cut, Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, maybe even InShot and CapCut. I don't really mess with LUTs over there, but I'm pretty sure they support it. You can do some really creative things with this footage. But because I'm recording it using a webcam and Ecamm, I have something even more incredible. So this look you see right here is what it looks like when the camera is basically using its sort of built-in profile, right? And the color's a little muted. It seems a little bit washed out. But let me show you something cool. We're going to pop over into Ecamm real quick. And I'm going to click on camera C. That's what I'm using for my Osmo Pocket 3. Open up the camera effects. And over here, I'm going to select on the LUT. Now, most cameras that shoot in these sort of log profiles allow you to use a correction LUT from the camera manufacturer that will simply put the footage back to normal using their built-in color science. So that is this DJI Osmo Pocket LUT that brings this footage back to normal. So if I click that, boom, the footage looks like it would look if I was just shooting in the standard Osmo Pocket 3 profile. Now, what's cool in Ecamm, of course, you can use the slider and slow this down. So here's the trick that I want to show you. In Ecamm, if I come up to the preferences here and click on preferences, Ecamm allows me to record isolated recordings. So this camera C, which is Osmo Pocket 3, you can see here, I can leave it set for apply camera effects to recorded video sources. I have this turned off, and this is turned off on purpose because when I'm done this recording, I'm going to have a master recording of this big window, and I'm going to have basically clean recordings of each of the individual cameras, right? So what happens in the end, when I'm finished, I get something that looks like this. This is the master footage. Don't play that. And this would be the camera direct and the camera direct. Well, I will play that in this case. If I show you this one, it's log. It's still log, right? Nice freeze face, Doc. The footage has not been touched by the LUT, right? No matter whether I turn the LUT on or off, this footage in its entirety will remain in this sort of log profile, which is the kind of flat and sort of, I want to call it dumbed down look to make it easier to understand, but in that real basic look. So what that means is when I bring it into my editor, no matter where this slider is, I have full creative control as if it was shot like this. So what we're going to do is take this video here and I'm going to open it up in Final Cut and show you what it looks like. So give me a second to pop out of here and then close this footage down, open up Final Cut and start a new recording. So hang tight, hang tight. And if you want to get into the nerdy part of why, again, this sort of LUT thing works and how it works, I'll save that for the end of the video because I don't want to confuse just the normal folks. Okay, so let's get in. Okay, so I moved my camera over here because I need space for my hands in order to get into this edit mode. What we're going to do is go over into Final Cut and show you how to use this. Now, again, I'm showing this based off the firmware update for the Osmo Pocket 3, but just know this trick would work for any camera that does shoot in the log profile. Your Sony cameras like my A7 IV, my ZV-E1, ZV-E10, even something like this Fujifilm X-M5, Fuji X105 and 6, which I also have, or even something like this Osmo Pocket that also can shoot in log footage. And this secret to success is the fact that Ecamm will allow you to shoot it with the LUT added in Ecamm so your footage looks normal, but you also going to get the raw clip if you have that effects thing turned off, that will allow you to have just really pretty clips. Now, I did forget to show you something in the beginning, so let's jump on over here into live demo mode, and I'm going to take you into Chrome real quick. As soon as I find the mouse, there it is. There's Chrome. You want to go to DJI.com/LUT. If we're talking about your Sony or your Fuji, this will be also on your manufacturer's website, and all you're going to do is get the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 D-Log M to Rec 709 LUT. And LUTs are fancy lookup tables. We'll save that discussion for later. But you're just going to download this one. I already have it for the Action 5 as well, actually in about 3 of these drones. But the main one you need is Osmo Pocket 3 D-Log M LUT in this case. And another question that we get a lot is, where do you get these premium LUTs? I grab a lot from Artlist. We talked about this recently, how Artlist has a bunch of really cool, incredible looks. And you can scroll through here and find all myriad sorts of things that will look good in your footage. Let's do something crazy like download this Logic LUT. Okay, so let's pull that down and we'll show you what that looks like once we get over into the thing. Now, there's just tons in here. Here's some really cool monochromatic looks that might look a little bit better. Ooh, let's try the sepia. That might look a little bit better than just using some of the, lava. I'm from Hawaii. Let's use that. Let's go play with these. Let's go play. First, now we're going to move over. Of course, they got purple. Let's move over into Final Cut. Here we are in Final Cut. Now we're going to drag in some footage that we shot earlier. And let me just clip these in a little bit to make this easier. Let's find a clip where I'm not making a weird face. And what you want to do is, when you first jump into Final Cut, normally you're going to be on this film strip icon here on the side. We want to click on the eye for inspector. And most of you, because you've never touched this, you're still going to be on where it says basic. We want to bring that down to general, extended, settings, one of these. And I'll just use general, because we want to get to this setting here that's called camera LUT. What a camera LUT does is take the footage that we shot in this D-Log M profile and put it back to normal as if you shot it in the regular mode. And that would be the same for any other camera manufacturer. So we want to put it back to its baseline before we start getting cute with all of the color correcting. Let's get back into Final Cut. So in Final Cut here, we're going to click on camera LUT, and normally you would find your camera LUT in here. These are the ones that are built in to the Final Cut program, but this one is not correct. So you want to make sure you grab the correct one from DJI, and you would normally go to add custom camera LUT down here at the bottom, and you would find where you downloaded that DJI correction LUT to. I don't need to do that because it's already built, it's already in. So I'm going to go to DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and that will put my footage back to normal. Okay. Now you want to click on your effects thing here and come down to where you have color in this list under the video, and you want to put on a custom LUT. So let's drag that baby over there. So in here, you'll see all the LUTs that I have downloaded before. Let's go to choose custom LUT, and let's bring in Logic, Sepia, what is this thing called? Appaloosa and Logic. So we'll go ahead and say open, and that's going to load those in. So now if I click on this guy and come down to Logic, that is, whoa, that looks crazy. That looks crazy. Now, under normal circumstances, you're never going to rock a LUT at 100%. Well, you could if you want to, but notice what a lookup table does. If I turn this off completely, all of this blue over here, it is telling the computer wherever you see shades of blue, turn it into pink, right? So that's that. Now what I would do is pull this back until I get about here, and that is kind of sort of cool. So that is just changing my look. It's not doing too much to my skin tones here. It's not over messing with my hat. That's a really cool one. So Logic is a dope LUT for me with the color space in my room. If I click on lava, and let's crank this back up to a big percentage there, that's off, this is on. You normally want to cool it down until you get somewhere where your skin looks normal, and that's about right. I really like this look of lava. What was the other one that we did? Let's do sepia, and again, that's on full blast, but you could dumb this down a little bit to give you sort of that older retro film look. So sepia at about 38% is a nice look. It makes the camera not look so new, not look so digital, if you will. Let's check out another one we have here We have volcano. Oh, this one was crazy. Ayahuasca. So that is just nuts. That is absolutely nuts. But again, I can cool this down and kind of play around in here. So you might do something like throw on a black and white first, and then got that ayahuasca chilled out over here at the top. And again, you can play with these and sort of see what that does. You can even rearrange the order that they stack. So I went black and white first. I applied ayahuasca second to just kind of see. You can just get mad creative. You can get absolutely creative in here. So I really love this setup. There you have it. You can see why you might want to shoot in D-Log M. And luckily, with the way Ecamm works, you can preserve the raw footage, so you have all myriad sort of creative license to go to town and do whatever you do. I think this is a game changer for my homies that have really cool setups, like Zaylee, like Mary Lou, Tanya, a bunch of people I know that use the Osmo Pocket 3 a lot. This will go a long way. And again, if you have a camera like a Sony ZV-E1, ZV-10, A7 IV, A7C, a bunch of the other, sort of mirrorless cameras, you can do the same thing. You want to go get your base correction LUT from your camera manufacturer. You want to go on your camera effects on Ecamm and add that LUT in, and then set your camera to one of your log profiles and just know that your ISO recordings will record in that format. Now, one thing to know about ISO recordings is, for right now, due to limitations of speed of machines, we do the ISO recordings in 1080. If that matters to you, then if you want to keep it in 4K, just record in your camera body as well. That way you can have the ISO, the clean log footage in your camera, but then the corrected footage is what would be streamed or recorded when you're recording an Ecamm, and know that you can go back in and just get creative. I don't know who needed to see this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. I love DJI, and I can't wait to get outside and mess around and show you what you do with the 2x zoom update. That thing is crazy. But if you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can know whenever I create another video like this. And right about now, Funk Soul Brother, the algorithm is going to show you another video they think you should watch. I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet.